Good morning. Good morning. Could you all please be seated? On behalf of the U.S. Department of Energy and of the Office of Science, I welcome you to the 2024 National Science Bowl Award ceremony. Earlier, thank you. Earlier, I was sitting down there and looking at the words, a competition like no other. But wow, I was totally blown away. You have impressed me over and over, and this year, even more so. So congratulations. This has been a tremendous event. Today's competitions mark the culmination of the 34th Annual National Science Bowl, where this year over 10,000 students participated nationwide, representing the 50 states, the US Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. I congratulate all these individuals for your dedication and your commitment, especially the 115 teams of middle school and high school teams that won yourself a trip to the nation's capital and be with us today. Congratulations. You represent the top 6% of all teams competed nationwide regionally. And of course, to our two new national champions, we have the Basis Independent Bellevue Middle School and the Lexington High School. Congratulations. You have worked hard, and it really shows. The Office of Science manages National Science Bowl and is proud to sponsor the finals event. But we do not do this all on our own. I would especially like to thank the 150 volunteers, regional coordinators, and the NSV alumni who are with us today, but also plus the thousands of volunteers who supported the regional events, like the DOE National Laboratories from all over the country. Once again, you did a wonderful job in 2024. Thank you. I also like to recognize the parents, the teachers, the coaches for your critical and essential role and the support you have provided to the teams of competitors. So please join me in a well-deserved round of applause for all of you. Thank you. Now it is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce the 16th Secretary of Energy, Jennifer Granholm. Secretary Granholm is leading DOE's work to advance cutting-edge, critical clean energy technologies and overseeing DOE's core missions of promoting Americans' leadership in scientific discovery, maintaining the nuclear deterrent and reducing nuclear danger, and remediating the environmental harms caused by legacy defense programs. Please join me in welcoming Secretary Jennifer Granholm to the stage.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kang. Amazing work by our Office of Science. And hello, everybody. Dr. Kang gave great recognition to a whole array of people, but before we start, want to give a hand to Dr. Kang's entire team and the Department of Energy's Office of Science for organizing this weekend, especially Jan Tyler, our Science Bowl Commander-in-Chief. All the teachers, as she said, who volunteer, and I know as a parent and a grandparent how much effort parents I know have put into this with your hopes and your coaching and your support. Of course, the coaches, of course, all of the families who are here today, those who are watching in person and on live stream. Thank you all. And of course, last but not least, the Science Bowl teams themselves. This year's champion, of course, Basis Independent Bellevue for middle school, Lexington High School. Bravo, everybody, whether you're watching. And you'll get another chance to congratulate them too. Here at the Department of Energy, we say that the Science Bowl is not about the destination, but about the journey. And I know that for many of you, that journey began several years ago. In fact, I know a couple of you may have competed in a whopping 7 Science Bowls. That is incredible. Just a quick show of hands. Who's here for the first time at a Science Bowl? All right, that is awesome. Because no matter how many times you have done this, if you think back, for those of you who've been here multiple times, to your very first Science Bowl or how you got here as a young child, like what inspired you? Maybe you grew up mixing baking soda and vinegar at the kitchen table. Maybe you got your hands dirty outside, digging up rocks and plants and bugs. Maybe you laid back and stared at the sky in your backyard outside at night and wondered what all those stars are made of. Maybe you were inspired by one or both of your parents or a member of your family who has been focused on science their career. And maybe one day after school, you wandered into a Science Bowl practice session. Maybe you discovered that you had a real knack for whacking the buzzer. You've all obviously learned how science can help us find answers about the world around us. You've learned how to work as part of a team and to bring out the best in your teammates and your peers. And most importantly, you have learned how to pursue your passion for knowledge and for discovery of how things work, what things are made of, whether it's as vast as the universe or as small as the atom. No matter your next destination, whether it's college or high school or just next year's Science Bowl, those skills that you have crammed into those huge brains, that knowledge, it's going to open so many doors for you. If you just look how far and wide our Science Bowl alumni are spread today. They're getting their PhDs in all sorts of fields, physics and chemistry and geology and oceanography, economics, computer science. They're doctors, they're lawyers, they're software engineers, they're professors, they're even veterinarians. I'm so proud. Some of them are working at the Department of Energy. I think Joe Melville is here. Joe, who participated in 6 Science Bowls. He went on to get his PhD in chemistry. He's now working as a fellow in our Advanced Research Agency, Research Projects Agency for Energy, and he's helping great entrepreneurs turn their energy ideas into companies. And Joe explores some of our most ambitious ideas to tackle the climate crisis, from jet fuel made of CO2 sucked from the sky, to hydrogen power pulled from deep within the earth, geologic hydrogen. So there's no telling what will end up for you. In fact, the president has laid out his climate agenda with a huge goal, which is to get to 100% clean electricity on our electric grid by 2035, and net zero carbon pollution by 2050. And to get there, we are going to need some big, innovative, imaginative ideas for cutting carbon pollution, for devising the next generation of clean energy technologies, for making sure that those solutions reach communities in every pocket of the country. And if that sounds interesting to you, the Department of Energy is the place to be. It is. Just to give you a taste, in the last year alone, we have built the largest digital camera ever. We've used our dark energy spectroscopic instrument to map out more than 40 million galaxies and stars. We've started up our newest supercomputer, Venado, which joins a fleet of exascale computers that includes the fastest supercomputer in the world. Our 17 national labs that you have become very familiar with have the most powerful scientific tools to collide electrons and speed neutrinos and build quantum materials and invent isotopes and look into atomic particle properties with synchrotron radiation light sources. Amazing. Ambitious tools like that are key to meeting our climate goals, as are people, because there are going to be millions and millions of science-based careers over the next couple of decades, and you obviously have all the smarts and the discipline and the ideas, and I should add the good coaching to be successful in those careers. We're going to need researchers to help us perfect the next generation of solar panels with efficient materials like perovskites. We're going to need people who will help us build the next generation batteries to electrify airplanes and power flying taxis. We're going to need people to help us split water, H2O, into hydrogen and oxygen and create a whole new source of energy using the most abundant element on the planet. We need help in extracting energy from the waves in the sea, or the geothermal heat beneath our feet from deep in the earth, or the winds over the deserts of the Southwest and the plains in the center of our nation and miles into the Atlantic Ocean. We need inventors and entrepreneurs and scientists and engineers. We need you. Maybe you can be part of solving the greatest science challenge there ever was, which is how to fight climate change at the speed and scale we need to heal our planet. Today is April 29th, 2024. 30 years from now, on a beautiful morning on April 29th, 2054, some of us adults won't be here. I kind of plan on being here, but some won't. But you for sure will be. Thousands of pages of history waiting to be written, and you hold the pen or the keyboard. What is the future that you will have shaped to leave this world better than you arrived? You've been given amazing gifts of intelligence, and you've cultivated those gifts. The last few decades have been game-changing, but they're small potatoes compared to what's next. Your country needs you. I hope you consider answering the call. So now, let's hand out some trophies.
All right, that was the best recruitment pitch I have ever heard for the Department of Energy. How many of you want to sign a contract right now and sign up? Just remember, when you get to that point in life, remember all that free ice cream. Remember all that free ice cream. All right, time to give out our trophies and recognize our winners. The 16 middle schools that advanced to double elimination on Saturday will receive $1,000 for their school's math and science departments. Each team competing today will also receive a trophy and $5,000 for the school's math and science departments, plus the students will receive individual medals and gift cards. Join me now in congratulating the third place team, Davis Drive Middle School from Cary, North Carolina. So, Shane, yeah, nice to see you. They look good, don't they? Basking in the glory of this wonderful victory here. Davis Drive. Okay. All right. As they make their way off the stage here, we're going to congratulate the second place team. We saw what they did. This school has been coming to the Science Bowl for 12 years. They've always distinguished themselves. And here now, to accept congratulations for their second place finish, Hopkins Junior High from Fremont, California. Hopkins, a super job up there, competitive throughout. Been here 12 years, and I hope you continue to come for many years in the future. You honor us with your presence. And our first place winner. Please welcome up. They are the reigning champs. They are now the new champs as well. Basis Independent Bellevue from Bellevue, Washington. Whenever the score tightened, they always came through. No one wants to hold the bowl. Terrific work, all of you. Terrific work. All right. Now our top three high school teams. Again, each will receive $1,000 for their school science and math science departments. Each team competing today also gets a trophy and $5,000 for their school's math and science department and individual medals and gift cards for all of the students. Joining me now, the third place team from University High School from Irvine, California. Would you congratulate them? Here they are. And University High, you were the runners-up last year, were you not? All right, you're always in the game, aren't you? Congratulations, guys. Super work. Join me now in congratulating the second place team from North Hollywood, California. Come on up, guys. Coach Maine, Coach Soloff, wonderful. Not just 50 years as a teacher. Len says 58. 58. When you get up there, you want those numbers correct. And Coach Maine, put this on your biography next year. Nicely done. And another repeat. Our reigning high school champ is now our newest champ. Would you please welcome up Lexington High School, Lexington, Massachusetts. Coach Gould, 17 years. And Coach, I noticed that they someone mentioned you as their favorite scientist. I'm sure you took note of that as well. Nicely done. Thank you. And we thank Secretary Granholm for her appearance here today and gracious comments. Thank you for joining us. Department of Energy, Office of Science, thanks all the students, their coaches, and families. We can't say that enough for their preparation, hard work, and support. This wouldn't happen without you. I'd like to thank all the participants here today. I hope you leave with wonderful memories and that you'll be anxious to come back next year. All Godspeed as you make your way home. And as I say, please come back and join us. We have loved having you here. I'm going to turn this now over to our commanding general, Jan Tyler. Jan, come on back up. Okay.
Another round of applause for our MC, Dave Zarin, please. And a big thank you to Secretary Granholm and her team, and also Dr. Harriet Kung and her team for being here. It's quite special.